It's Lolo, aka Pway Dada. I'm hopping up the Porch with my man Dirty Glove Bastard.
Give me raw respect, came a long way from the jets. Baby try to brag, only good for the net. Bust down for the night, then I'm more.
Alright, today we got Pway Dada jumping off the porch with us today.
What's good, man?
What's going on, gang?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Pleasure to be here.
Nah, for sure, man. So what you out here working on in Atlanta?
Shit, I'm just linking up with new people, doing new connections and shit, meeting new producers, just trying to elevate from my city.
That's hard. How often do you get the chance to come out here?
I just recently moved out here. My peoples stay out here.
Oh, that's
So
hard.
I just moved recently stay out here.
So how would you compare Atlanta to back home in York?
Shit, that shit way better, nigga. We ain't got shit in my city. We ain't got nothing, just straight treacherous. Ain't really nothing. Atlanta, it's a lot of opportunities for people and shit. You know what I mean? My city ain't, it's like a trap.
I feel that. So for those who wouldn't know, how would you describe life in York, Pennsylvania?
That shit treacherous for real. Growing up in York, it wasn't easy. Especially, I wasn't raised, I ain't had no pops and shit. So my mom, she really raised me through all that shit. Thugged it out. Nah, man, ain't nothing there. Like, it's not a main city like cities near us and shit like Philly and shit like that. So we just a small city with the same cycle, just violence and shit like that. And they not trying to make it better.
How would you describe your childhood coming up?
My childhood coming up, that shit was cool. You know, I was really into sports and shit. Nah, I mean, I just had my mom and shit. She did everything she really could for me and shit. I adapted to my environment. My environment wasn't really good and shit. But I was really mostly growing up and shit. I played sports and shit like that. But once I got to high school, that shit was like really dead for real. Nah, man.
When would you say you jumped out the porch?
Shit. We hit like middle school. Middle school, that shit just turned up. Everybody got more older and shit. Everybody got to get out. You know, my city like a small city, so you can really walk everywhere and shit. Like, you know what I mean? You ain't really gotta drive. That's how small that shit is.
That's hard. What would you say is the biggest life lesson you learned growing up?
Shit, I take this shit for granted. Nah, man. You can't. Once I got locked, I got shot before, so it was like, I can't take none of this shit for granted now. Nah, man. You got a second chance.
Straight up. What would you say is the biggest obstacle you had to overcome so far in life?
Basically, moving on from my city. I still love for my city and shit. I still do for my city, but it's like I had to get past that phase of the cycle. It's like a cycle in there and shit, so I had to overcome that shit. Like, it's always gonna be the same. And you know what I mean? Either gonna end up dying or get booked for the rest of my life.
So when would you say you started making music?
Shit, by like last year. I really always had that music shit in me since like middle school, but I never really took that shit serious like everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? So I just took that shit serious like last year. People kept telling me to do it, my hood kept telling me to do it. So now I'm just really taking this shit seriously.
I feel that. What motivated you to start making music?
Once I came home, about time last year, in the hood and just people in the city, just growing up, they was like, cuz you got that shit, just keep doing that shit. So, and plus my environment shit growing around me. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this shit serious and we could really do something with this.
Who would you list as some of your musical influences?
I fuck with G Herbo, Meek, Uh, who else? Dirk and I fuck with a boy from Philly named Old Ass Rider. I fuck with Leaf Ward. There's a couple niggas. Who else? One more. The boy No Cap. He's hard.
Yeah.
He's definitely hard. He's hard.
When would you say you started to say, you know, I want to take music full time?
About after I dropped my first video, like in, what was it, around February, The Strong Survive. You know what I mean? That was my first video. Dope ass visual. Shout out to the boy Tanner. Yeah, as soon as I dropped that shit, I seen the, like, how people reacted and shit, like how they show love and shit. So I was like, yeah, I can really do something with it.
How did you get your rap name?
Pway, I mean, my shit already Dada, so Pway just really solidifies for my whole hood. You know what I mean? I really want to put my whole hood on that shit. You know what I mean? Just so I can put the whole hood on.
That's hard. If you weren't rapping, what do you think you'll be doing right now?
Shit, I don't even know to tell you. For real, for real. I don't even know. Probably somewhere in YC doing some dumb shit.
How would you describe your sound?
The way my flow is, it's like it's like I'm not trying to be like somebody else. In a way, somebody hear it, they be like, who the fuck is that nigga? Like, you know what I mean? Where the fuck he from? What is York or some shit like that? I got my own little sound and shit, my own category. I don't really know how to describe my shit, but it's like my own type flow, and I don't really know, but I'm just different.
What do you feel like is the best body of work you released?
My new shit that I'm about to recently release. You know what I mean? I think every song I make, I don't honestly be thinking it'd be that good, but the people, they love all the shit, like I drop and shit. But I be thinking I could be better than every other song I drop. I be thinking like I could be better than that shit or something like that. But recently, I think the fan favorite really that Strong Survive, my first video. I think they love that.
How would you describe your current thoughts on the rap game?
I mean, I love this shit. It really takes me this shit I ain't never thought I'd be. Like, I'm here right now and shit. Niggas from my city, we never did this. Like, you know what I mean? They never got to a point where we could do shit like this. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Big I was Zooted and P and them. You know what I mean? Because they were the first to do this shit like this. But this rap shit, it just helped me elevate my life and the others around me.
What would you say is the biggest risk you took that paid off?
Just taking this shit seriously and probably coming to Atlanta too. A lot of niggas in my city are scared to leave because all they know is that shit. Like, you know what I mean? All they know is the city. So it's like, you know what I mean? I can't just be trapped in that shit. So taking a risk is just leaving my city, for real. By myself, all alone. I ain't got nobody with me, just to the face. Just exploring shit, getting new things.
How would you describe the music scene back at home in York?
You said the music scene back home in York?
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. I mean, it ain't really, since we started doing this shit, it be some niggas that been rapping for like 5 years plus and didn't get nowhere. Like they barely touched a major platform. I know some niggas that been rapping 7 years and still is in the city, fucked up. But shout out to my man Big I was Zooted, P, Nitro, who else? Double Laugh, Boy Kita. Who else? Kobe. There's a couple artists I really fuck with. Nah, man. Hope I ain't forgetting one. Am I forgetting? But yeah, the music scene it's really popping now though. It's really popping now though. It just out of nowhere, everybody just want to make music. Everybody want to be a rapper. You know what I mean? Hop off the porch now and shit. I don't know where that shit came from. But it's cool though. I like, you know what I mean, different artists and shit. Keep making music and shit, new shit from my city.
Let's talk about your new single, My City.
My city. Oh yeah, matter of fact, I just dropped the video today with Sizz on that joint. Shout out Sizzle. You know what I mean? That shit, I really fuck with that shit, cause I really got versatile with that shit. I really got like on some gutter shit, like on some real rap street shit on that. You know what I mean? I collab with him. He from New York and shit, from the Bronx. You know what I mean? I dropped that shit today. That shit probably hit like 7K, like a couple hours.
That's real.
That shit was doing its thing. It's still doing its thing.
Are there plans for an upcoming project?
Yeah, I got some shit called 21P. It's gonna come out probably September 1st. It's gonna be like a little EP, probably drop like 5 songs on there. But yeah, it's gonna be, niggas really gonna feel me, for sure.
Talk to us about your grind as an independent artist.
That shit is, as an independent artist, this shit is not sweet. Especially if you ain't really got a management that back you up. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Big Abzuda, his management and shit. They be helping me a little bit, you know what I mean, through this shit. But you really gotta really be committed and shit. This shit make you really want to give up sometimes. You know what I mean? But you can't, for real. But yeah, that shit be really hard, like just being independent. All you got is you. You really gotta get yourself out there. You really gotta connect with people. Get your shit on major platforms and shit. They got like shit where you can distribute your shit like DistroKid and United Masters and shit. Or you could just get your shit on there by yourself and shit. Some niggas don't know that though. They get to signing deals whole time. They could have got they self on that shit. Just paid their own paper. My niggas don't. So I really looked into that independent shit, and it'll really pay off really in the future. For real.
What would you say is the most rewarding thing that comes along with being an independent artist?
You own your masters, cause a lot of niggas don't get to own they shits, and then they sign some 360 deal, get fucked and shit. You know what I mean? So being this independent shit, and you could really tell motherfuckers like, yeah, man, I got this shit out the muscle. Like, I'm an independent nigga. This is all my shit. This is all what I did. You know what I mean?
Would you ever consider signing to a major label situation?
I don't know, for real. It depends what they talking. If they talking the right numbers and shit, then maybe. I really probably sign to a management first, so they can just, you know what I mean, explain to me all the shit.
Know you musically.
All the music shit, and then let you know, like, cause there's a lot of shit in this music shit I really didn't know, like, until my man's management really explained it to me, like, niggas don't even know, like, you need a music lawyer and shit like that. It's a lot of shit but copyrights, like all types of shit, cause niggas, you drop some shit, a nigga come back in the future and sue you and shit, but niggas don't be really paying attention to none of that shit.
No.
But yeah, if a nigga talking the right numbers, then we can probably work something out.
For sure. Who are some artists you would want to work with in the future?
The boy, close to my city, Philly boy, Leaf Ward. Oh, that's Ryder. Polo G. No Cap, for sure, No Cap. That's one of my favorites. It's probably like one more. Who else? I said, Lil Baby Dirk and them niggas is different. The boy, who else? He just dropped some shit. He was really hard. Boy Jadakiss, he's really tough. He's really tough for real. I would listen to some shit that he dropped that I didn't even really know. I would listen to on a Young Boy, like on that verse shit I watched. I would listen to some shit I was like, damn, I didn't even know he made shit like that. I didn't even know I would listen to that shit when I was a young boy, so I didn't even really know. But yeah, he definitely tough. I would definitely work with him.
For sure. What else are you working on right now?
Just my EP, for real. I got some songs. I definitely got mad unreleased songs that I just wanted to get out there, cause I gotta get these songs out there just to let motherfuckers hear me and feel me, cause I'm really starting from the bottom. So, you know what I mean? I'm here now, so it's like I'm making progress and shit.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Any last words and shout outs?
Shout out Melly, Free Dot and shit. Shout out to the gang, Big Op Zooted, Pistol P, Nitro, Will Wop. Who else? Free Juve. I think my guys Double Laugh. Who else? I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting somebody. It's a lot of the brothers that make music. But shout out to the P's, man.
For sure, man. Appreciate you having me today, Pway.
Appreciate having me too, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Gang.
Give me right respect, came a long way from the jets. Baby try to brag, only good for the net. Bust down for the night, then I'm on to the next. I be running game, you be loving.